Hey guys, I thought that should have worked. There it is. Boom. Yay. Make sure I'm on the right mic, and it did not jump, but I think it should be because I got the other camera working. There's the camera, there's the audio, and should be good. I can dumb that down a little bit. That should kill some of the light. All right, groovy. Let's go. Let's get it and go from there. Let's see. I don't want to start with Tesla, but we'll cover it. I think what we really want to focus on is not these names. I want to start with the ES, and I want to pull up some what I think are big levels. I think a lot of people are, let's leave that up for a minute, but we'll throw you on a 4, and then we'll drop you over here, and we'll click on this. And then what we'll do from here is we'll drop you to this one. Cool. Get rid of that. Why? I mean, just FYI, this thing priced last night. Usually after these, or priced yesterday, and I think people got their allocations, and now they know that they're not going to get any. So that's usually when this stuff starts to move. You know, I bought it yesterday. I tend to buy this stuff early because you never know, but you gotta have to go for a ride. Not everybody wants to go for that ride from 18 to 11. And I get that, but that should probably, start lifting pretty nicely. If I was to throw that into this, you'll see it pretty nicely. I mean, you can't really miss it. What's going to happen there. So I'll just show you, like you can see the volume already starting to pick up, and now watch what happens to it. Right. So still super light, like super light compared to where it was. So that's super interesting. I expected it to look like this. It doesn't. You might want to watch that. I don't know that that's going to go. All right, let's go back. So before we got off on a tangent, let's stay focused. I have to wrap up at 9 today, just FYI. I have a lot to do, like a lot going on this morning. If we look at the ES as a whole, I'm going to just do the basics again with this and drop our level right down here, and then just go right to the top, which really shouldn't be too crazy for everybody to see where we rejected again, right in here. And the other thing that I thought was super interesting when you went and looked at this is Sunday's bar, right? And there's that open. And then if you look at that open and you look at the close of that bar in that 15-minute, here is 9:45, right? 10 o'clock. And then here's where you stopped yesterday. But if I go down to like a 5-minute, and I thought this was just super interesting. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this so you can see it. Let's go to the 1 because it was even that specific. If you go and take a look at this, every single opening. So here you are. All your other openings, your cash openings, are in that range. Like it's kind of crazy when you think about it. So here you are Sunday, right? And then the Monday kicks in, and then you'll see like all of a sudden right in that range is your cash opening, like right at that level. And if you start going through that, you start looking for like the cash openings again, like you're in that range once again off that level. And it wasn't like just, I just thought it was super interesting. Like if you come here, it took to, hold on, let me find it. Tuesday, and then we go into Wednesday, and then you're going to come up here. It took till Wednesday to kind of break out of it, right? Up here. And that's when you hit that level. But look where you hit again. So for whatever reason, and I don't know, and it stopped right there. For whatever reason, this bar in here, I dropped it to a 1. And then we marked it off. It seems to be holding there for, I don't know why, but I thought that was super interesting. So it's definitely an area of interest. I don't like, and we're just going to start doing it all over again. I just don't like how we did not retest this. And you almost have to retest that. And whether or not you do, I don't know. But I'd prefer to do it now and rip the Band-Aid off, because all right now is you're just climbing this wall of worry. And eventually what tends to happen with these is they'll break. And when they break, it's pretty darn ugly. So, you can see it right here. Most people will be like, oh, you have to use that. That was the test. And you can kind of see how it sits in there. But, do you have to break it? You don't have to do anything. But I just think it's super interesting how you keep climbing this wall and there's no retest of these levels. Now, a lot of people say, well, you don't have to retest. And, to an extent, maybe they're right. Maybe you don't have to retest. Like if you look at September, I at least got down to this level and there was that kind of test in here where you're like, no, we tested that, right? Like in here. But realistically, after that on Tuesday and that test, then after you tested this area, you see how it climbed the wall worry and then it drops. After you tested that area, what happened? We just kept lifting. And I think that's super important to get. So I think you have to do something very similar to that and test that area. Now, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't test that area. So again, I would be paying attention to it. And then kind of go from, there. So it's definitely of interest. I don't know. Pretty fascinating to me anyway. Let me get this out and we'll get there. There. And let's go to the NQ for a moment. Bum, 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 bum. And you should be able to see this as well. I actually wanted to show you that way. And then if we clone it, I think that's super interesting. You have the same trajectory. And if you clone it here, see it? Bonk, 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 bonk. So same trajectory. It's not, and I get it. It's lifting, so everyone's like really giddy with it. You drop your VWAP there, you come across and you mark this off, and you look at your levels, and you're all excited. Maybe you're going to come up here and then roll. I don't know, man, but I really don't know why you're not retesting any of this. And I really think you have to. Now, earnings have been good. They've been coming out and they've been really good, but I would just like to have that happen. And we just don't seem to be, getting that despite the breath getting worse and worse. It's just not happening. Let's go take a look at the Qs. And then we kind of go from there. Hold on 1 second. Let me just see something I have on. Yep. And then we'll just kind of see what's going on there. Yep. Cool. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm, mm-mm. All right. So what else do we have here? All right, let's get to this. And drop this down. I'm going to take a look at the Qs and check our levels, but I don't think our levels have moved at all here. But let's just check them. You really don't want to break 590. And you really don't want to break 590. But I don't know yet. We're going to. So that's actually moving down, not up. It's interesting. That's why you always got to look at these every single day because they change. So they're actually, no, I still have these on the screen. Oh, they went away. All right. So your call wall dropped to here. And I don't know that you're going to break that. These are your big bands that how I say it anyway. Like these are pretty much your big areas that I say. And I don't know. We had a great God, we had a great trade off of that. Such a wild week. They're your really big bands. I don't think you're going to get through that call wall this week, personally, but we'll see. I don't think that you're going to. Clearly, you have like some other stuff here that you have to deal with. Like the 606.83 level obviously is an issue. Ties in perfectly with that little wick up here. If we got rid of this, you'll see it, right? So there's definitely some stuff there. Sometimes if you get rid of the pre and the post and just look at the cash, you can see some things pretty much clearer. That level comes all the way back. So is that something you have to pay attention to? I mean, I would. Why? You fought it, held it, right? Battleground, and you retested it twice. So maybe you pull back, maybe you hold there. But you start breaking 600, it becomes an issue. Definitely becomes an issue. 605, I mean, maybe there's another 80, 90 points here today or for the week, but I don't think you got much more than that in your tank. I truly don't. I truly don't think you have anything more than that. So, say that goes. A sec here. All right. Okay. So we got the Qs there. Let's do the SPY next. I guess we'll start over. Let's see what's going on there. I don't really know that you're going to have the same kind of issue here. Obviously, that's definitely been an area of contention. 670. I mean, God, good Lord, that's perfect. That's that gamma level. If you can't flip that, I tend to keep my bias that way until I flip, So if I can't flip it, I tend to have that negative bias until I'm above it. It tends to work out really well for me. You should do what you're comfortable with. I just think there's better sectors out there too. I think you're rotating sectors a little bit. Where are you? Man, nobody wants some puts, huh? But that 650 is like perfect down here. It's actually right here. You're actually down that far. You're not even getting there. Make that red and, make this green. It's interesting though. Let's go take a look at something real quick and let's go look at the book. 667. You have a ton at 667. Is that working? Oh, yeah. Yep. You have a ton here. I don't know, man. That's a big one. You can see some of the other smaller levels too. I don't really see a whole heck of a lot there. Not anymore anyway, but that is like freaking huge. I don't know, man. I don't know you're going to get through that. Yeah. Give me a second here. Wait a second, guys. Got some things moving here, guys. I'm trying to figure it out so I can explain it to you. Give me a second, guys. Order filled. Order partially filled. Order filled. I'll show you what I'm doing. I don't know the story. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know the story. If you guys know it, type it in the room. But this thing's on fire. I'm trying to figure it out why we're doing this live. So you got to bear with me. You just broke out on, like it's enormous volume. Like look at the volume. Like that's, no, it doesn't look like much. I've got an indicator that I can show you with it, but here, watch. It'll show you like actually how much volume's really there. Watch this on the 4-hour. Like it's through the roof. Like it's absolutely through the roof. Like that volume's crazy. It doesn't look like much there, but when you consolidate it over that period of time. So it's an indicator I created. I don't show it, but I'm just showing you like that number means a lot to me. And then when I see this on like an hourly, like that's going to go. Do what you want with it. So, but that kind of stuff, man. Like when you see that, like it can go.
Order partially filled.
It must have been one heck of a result. Let's see if we can find it. Give me 1 second, guys. See if we can find this thing. Phase 3. So that's good. That's why it's moving the way it is. Should go higher. I mean, that really should move. That should boogie. So let's see what it does. But that should boogie. I'm sure you're going to bounce all around, guys. So it is what it is. Just get used to it. But you know, you should bounce all around. But see what you do here. Let's keep going here. So what else do I have to get out there? I have the SPY. I got the Qs. All right, so we're good. Should be good. Done. Good. Let's get that out. And then give me 1 second here. Then I can take some questions. But I have to read this. Taiwan Semi was really good. I got to throw this somewhere else so that you guys aren't staring at the same chart for all day. Over here, Taiwan Semi was really, really good. And stock's acting like it. Let's go drop that to a 1 so we can see it.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
Mm-hmm. Let's go take a look at this too. Micron's moving on it. Let's get rid of this for a moment and drop to this. So, and then we'll load you in. And then you're seeing SanDisk really act very well on it. If you take a look at SanDisk, that's acting incredible on it. WCDC2. So all these names are kind of lifting off of that. Let me go to this real quick. Change that. 1 second, guys. And I've got good 10 minutes for questions. What else did I really want to go over that I thought was some AMD will do well today. AMD should do really well today. I'm surprised it's not lifting on this. I really am. Surprised you're not up a lot there. Bum, bum, bum. Looks like you're going to hold that 157 maybe. If not, you might be able to get it cheaper, but it looks to me like you're going to hold that. Let's see what you do. I'll show you here. So you can see what I'm looking at. And then I'll flip to names, other names real quick. But it looked like you're going to hold in here. But we'll see. I'd rather it break so I could buy it, like really buy it, instead of buying like these hiker positions. But hard to buy something when it's like this, you know. You gotta wait. Gotta wait. You need to pull back. See if we can get a shot at it here, like a real shot at it. So let's see what it does here. Today is the 16th. Cool. All right, so that's done. Let's go to questions. Is that what there are 4 Fed speakers today? You know, let's go through these because there's some things here that are really very interesting that you're bringing up. So how does this end? How does NEM end? I don't usually trade these names. I trade the what do you call it names, but I don't see personally how these names aren't going higher. I just don't see for the life of me how this stuff's not going a lot higher. I don't see it. So we're going to have to watch how it plays out, but I don't know, man. I own gold, and it's funny. Last time I updated it, we were only up 30. I think we're up, 50 now on it. So really fascinating. I don't know what you do there, man. I don't know what you do with NEM. I think you just ride it and move the stop up over and over again. I don't think you should be looking at it like, oh, I'm going to call the top, because who knows where this goes. Everyone thinks they understand where gold can go. I don't think people have a freaking clue where gold can go. I truly don't. I don't think people have a clue at all about where it could go. Yeah, I got to start doing these at 8:15 and going at 9. I have too much on. Like yesterday was like a logistical nightmare for me, trying to balance all that and get it all done by 9:30. And I had a lot on yesterday too. So it made it very difficult. I think people need to be super careful of falling in love with small caps. Small caps are small caps for a reason. And I'm not saying not to trade them. I think you should be looking at the IWM and saying, is it going to break out this time? Is it not? My concern was watching a lot of guys yesterday look at this and get all giddy, and like not, just go back on the chart, man. Like this is when everyone got giddy for it again. Like, everybody, look, man, everybody's having a great day, right? Like, oh man, this is it. It's really going to go this time. And even if you just kind of, you go back to it to here, continue to that level and just go back to there with it, right? Like, all right, so let's get out of this for a sec because it's not working the way I want it to. And I'll show you what I mean by this. So like if I'm here, right, and you're looking at that chart, and even if you just take it back to that level, why is it giving me this stupid function that serves no purpose but to annoy me right now? Okay, this is getting really old. Yeah, I want to exit, and I want you to do what you're supposed to do. Start new. Got it? Good Lord. So like if you're looking at that chart, you're going to go, oh man, this is it. We're definitely going to break out now, right? and there's your area. So in and of itself, to me, it's like, man, that's definitely something that you have to watch, right? And then all of a sudden, like, you just kind of watch how it played out, and it literally was the high. So I think people need to be really careful what they're buying here, because they don't understand like how this ends. It ends with you owning Fubu and think you own, and thinking you own Comcast, right? So like that's how it ends. It ends with, you're in these metal names thinking that you have something, at 55, and from here to here, and you're like, oh, Fubu is the next Comcast. Okay. It's going to be the same thing with these metal names. Like everyone's going to be in these metal names and not realize that that's the 2021 Fubu. So I think you really need to, people need to wrap their noodle around that a little bit. So I don't know. It's where my head is with it. Give me one sec here. Yep, perfect. That's actually perfect. Good. Good. All right, good. So I think we're going to get a shot at that name. Anyway, but I think that's how you have to view it, John. It's a really good question. I'm going to run through these and see what's most important to cover. Yeah, I think there's this. Don't they throw off a royalty? I think there's like a big royalty there, right? Isn't that what it is? Don't they pay like this huge royalty? Maybe somebody knows it's coming. That's all I can think of, that someone knows that really well and knows that there's a huge royalty there. Let's add that there and watch how that's going to go. But I think there's a huge royalty there that comes out of this thing, right? Like a huge dividend. Isn't it like 30% of it's kicked out or something? I don't know. Maybe somebody thinks they know something, Julian. NVTS. Yep. I think that there's definitely something to this. I think the question really becomes, I own this, by the way. I bought it when I saw that news. I just think you got to be careful with this stuff and allow it to play itself out. So, kind of go from there. I don't know, man. That's kind of how I see that one. I don't know. I don't know that you want to go I think you have to be super careful chasing anything right now. Yeah, that's a textbook breakout. Yes, there's your bar. Here's your stop. Now you're paying and this is what I mean by this stuff. And this is where people get killed. Now you're paying, 25% over the breakout bar. Do you really want to do that? Probably not. Probably not the best move, right? So I really think you have to look at it from that standpoint and say, yeah, I probably don't want to do that. I think you have to be super careful with these names, dude. I'm not saying not to trade them, but trade them. Because when you're there, oh, thanks. I set an alarm so I knew. But when you're there, you need to get to that point where, I'm gonna clean that all off. You got to look at this and go, oh, okay, I got a problem here, a problem or a blessing, a problem. And then really reevaluate how that's going to play out here. Really reevaluate that thing. So I can't stress that enough. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you're overextended on these micro caps, dude, because when it comes home to roost, it's going to be brutal. And it always comes home to roost. GBTC, I don't know. I like pins a lot here. TEM on the healthcare side. I mean, maybe one day it breaks out. Maybe. I think if you're looking at healthcare, you should be looking at biotech. Good morning from Tokyo. Good morning from Miami. First Solar, ICLN. ARC-G, dude, you got to be all over this. I'm so glad you brought this up. I am so freaking glad you brought this up, bro, because I was looking at this week and I look at so many different freaking charts and I just never even got into it. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to flip through all these. I don't see how you're not getting up there. And it's like 33%. Like, I just don't see how you're not getting here. I'll show you it. Like, I just don't see how you're not getting to that level. I just don't see it. Give me a sec. I got to do something here. Bought more PRAX. If I'm trading while we're talking. Oh God. I'll just tell you what I'm doing. So I bought more PRAX. What else do I think is easy? I think shorting CRM is a joke today. I think that's an easy trade. I think shorting snow is a joke. I know Mel's going to get pissed at me, but that's what I think. Bro, I think you got to be all over this. I really do. I think you have to be all over this trade. I think this trade is the cat's pajamas. I really do. I really think this is it. And I think that's something you got to focus on. Wow, killed it on that. All right. I think I'll be all over this. There was something else I wanted to show with it too. Hold on, Julian. I was really into this weekend. I go down the rabbit hole on some of these things. Your rate of change, like where you're sitting, you see how it's like you're here, up, retests, holds, never goes negative, up. Like this kind of stuff you really want to pay attention to. See how like this is cutting all over it, right? So like what's the difference between here and here? Let's get rid of that for a sec. The major difference to this, can you guys see that? I can't see crap with these glasses on. I guess that's why they block blue light, right? Because they block freaking everything else. There you go. There you go, Grandpa. All right, so you see how like it flips that zero line and now it bounces off that zero line? See how it hasn't been doing that? Okay. So it's like now it's flipping, now it's going to go. That's what you're looking for. That's what you want to pay attention to. So yeah, I can't stress that enough. I truly can't stress that enough. So let's put that out there too. And that's definitely something that we want to pay attention to. Definitely paying some too. You got to start looking at biotech, bro. You'll be all over that. You live in Tokyo. You like it? I'm getting ready to roam the earth. Spread my wings. Caw. I promise I'll never make that noise again. I don't know, bro. I will say this about these trades. Like, I don't get that into, I got to go. I said 9 o'clock, promise broken. I don't get that into like these smaller cap names, but I got to do lessons. I think what we're going to start doing is I think we're going to start doing like live calls. Like maybe once a week, do something like that. I actually want to start doing like a podcast forum on some of this crap to answer questions when we have time. I really think you need to look at some of this stuff. I'm not saying you're going to get through this stuff, but there's probably 25, 30% there on this, especially clean energy. Like everyone thinks that this is going to come from nuclear. Bro, did you ever try to build a nuclear reactor? Like you're not doing it in a weekend, but you can go buy a solar panel, you know, and everyone's trying to figure out, oh, how do we do the power trade? Where's the power trade? Where's it going? I don't know. Maybe by the utility companies. I don't know. Crazy idea. Maybe by the people that are already generating power. I don't know. I think you're onto something there. People love Tokyo. First solar, I have a love-hate relationship with it. That was my area. It flipped. It went. I didn't do it. I don't know. I probably was old man shaking my hand at the cloud. Yeah, bro, it's 8:15. It's 8:15 now. It is. Doesn't matter. I don't have a choice. I'm actually already late, so I got to jump. But I'm hoping Lisa's in here and she said happy. Oh, Daniel's saying good morning, but no Lisa. I'll take Daniel. Good morning, Daniel. Aren't they supposed to get some lunches or something? Everyone's like all giddy for this. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling that chart. Let's go take a look at it on a daily. No, especially these bars that fight. It's actually what you want. What's up, Lynn? Yeah, it's just, that's their second guide this year. That's their second higher guide this year. I think it's great for some names. I really do. But we'll have to see how this plays out. Good morning from East 72nd. I'm going to be up there soon. I think I might be up there this week, actually. I was supposed to go up yesterday to a conference. I just couldn't do it. She doesn't say much except leave me alone. UVIX, I think you got to look at it this way. Why can't I get under 20? Like, why? And I think this is the one thing that people are truly, truly missing. Like, this needs to drop. It's way too orderly. Micron over all of them. Micron, hands down. Over ARM, man, you got great news in ARM yesterday, and they beat that thing down so fast, your head spun. Like so fast, your head spun. They beat that thing down. So now I'm not really feeling that at all. Market top, 100% market. Calling the top. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. See how it plays out for you. I know I made it. I made it, Nita. I did 8:15. I said I was going to do it. I did. I put an alarm on the clock. I did that today through the internets. Bro, that music rocks. We're going to bust balls 8 o'clock in the morning. All right. Wow. Super aggressive in the chat today. Google looks decent. I think they're going into the safety names to an extent. Like there's the moat. I was looking at that yesterday. I bought this at 190 and that stopped me out. All right. There's the second one. All right. I got to go. I'll see you guys.